What's going on, guys? Luke here again. So in this video I'm going to be talking about a list of players that work well for yesterday's video, which was actually the converted method. I said I was going to do a full list of players, and this is going to be a load of players in this video pretty much. So I'm going to start off with Premier League strikers, and with these players you want to be looking for them at centre attacking mid and centre mid. So we'll just start off straight away. So we'll go Slimani from Leicester. He's good to do this with. You've also got Jermaine Defoe from Sunderland, Lucas Perez, Remy's very good, Danny Welbeck's very, very good, Amrabat's good because he's got the pace and he's got the passing and the dribbling. So yeah, Amrabat's very good. Gabriel Jesus from Man City, very, very good player to do this with. Rashford, another one, very, very good to do. Musa as well, he's another good one. You also have the cheaper options that are the likes of like Danny Ings, them sort of players. Iheanacho's another good one. Callum Wilson, Abel Hernandez, because they've got the pace. Rashford, Andre Gray, and they're mainly the strikers that you want to be looking at centre mid and CDM. So we'll move on to the midfielders now. First of all, you have Xhaka. He's very good to look at CDM because he can definitely play there because he's not that quick. So Xhaka at CDM. Aaron Ramsey, you can get away with selling him at cam. Mainly CDM works best. Obviously, you have the likes of Lallana, the upgraded one, the 83 one that is at striker. He can actually play there. And with these players that I'm showing now, if they're naturally a centre mid, you want to look for them at CDM, cam, and maybe striker if they can play there, if they've got the stats. If they are a cam, you might want to look at centre mid and striker. So you only want to go one up and one down position wise. So like I said, if they're a centre mid, you look one down, which is CDM, and one up, which is cam. Some of them can play striker, but there's very few. But anyway, let's carry on with the list. So Oscar, very good to trade with at striker. Dele Alli, another one, very, very good to trade with at striker. Lallana, I've already said. Bojan, his Stoke version, I think, is extinct at the moment. So he is a little bit harder than the others. Jack Wilshere, don't look for him at striker, look for him at cam and CDM. Who else do we have? Gylfi Sigurdsson at striker. He's informed a striker, but he can definitely play there if the players aren't that bothered about pace. And he's actually you can actually get him quite cheap at striker. Ross Barkley, another one, look for him at striker, very good. Pereira from Watford, look at him at striker. James Milner, look for him at CDM because that he can definitely play there. Fernandinho, you can look at striker, but he's a little bit harder to sell at striker, but you can definitely sell him on a lot quicker at cam or CDM because if you play him at cam, people will use him to get the triple link with Jesus. Obviously, Dele Alli, you want to be looking at his upgraded version. What other players have we got? We've got Lanzini, who from West Ham, you can look at him at striker. You've got a couple of the CDMs, the likes of Eric Dyer and also Fernando from Man City. You go even John Obi Mikel. I mean, if you look for them players just at centre mid, because some people play at the 4-3-2-1. Same with Wanyama. If you can look at them at centre mid, I'm not guaranteeing that there's always going to be profit there, but you can definitely make some pretty decent profit. Best player to do this with at the moment, I found, is actually Kouyaté from West Ham because he's got amazing box-to-box stats. So he can definitely play at centre mid if you want if you're looking for a centre mid like that. James Ward-Prowse, I'd look for him at CDM. He's another cheap one to do. Leroy Fer at CDM and centre mid as well because he's naturally a cam. So that's pretty much it for the BPL. I'll move on to some of the other leagues. So let's just start off with the strikers for the La Liga. So you want to be looking at Adariz, looking for him at cam and centre mid. Kevin Gamero, another one. Morata at cam and centre mid. Ben Yedder at cam and centre mid. Bakambu at cam and centre mid. Torres as well, cam, centre mid. Alexander Pato, another one, look at him for cam and centre mid. Correa, another one, cam, centre mid. Who else do we have? That's pretty much it for the strikers because there actually isn't that many, but we'll move on to the centre attacking mids and centre mids and CDMs now. Andre Gomez, obviously he's been downgraded, but if you can try and maybe pick him up at CDM, that is a pretty good one. You've also got Koke. Now, Koke does actually sell at striker because he's got good passing, so he can definitely play like a centre-forward role. Koke, look for him at striker, centre attacking mid, and also CDM. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing that you'll sell first time if you get him at CDM, but you can still make pretty decent profit. Ada Turan, I'd look for him at cam. Isco, you can get him at centre mid, but he does sell at striker very, very well. Steven Nzonzi is normally a CDM, but you can get him, if you can pick him up at centre mid for a decent deal, you can make some pretty nice profit. Casemiro, another one, if you can get him at centre mid, that's a good bit of profit there. And Rafinha, who's a centre mid from Barcelona, if you can try and get him at cam or CDM, he's a pretty good one to trade with as well. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for them as well. So we'll move on to the Serie A now. The Serie A, there's actually quite a few good ones, that is. So straight away, I'd say don't go for Carlos Bacca because he does not sell. He takes so long to sell. Jovetic at cam and centre mid because he can definitely play there. Eder as well from Inter Milan because he's got the pace and the dribbling. Palacio as well. Niang, his AC Milan version. And you also have the likes of Muriel, who's very, very good. And you can also get the, is it Defrel, the upgraded French striker from Sassuolo. He's a pretty good one to do this with as well. He will definitely sell at the likes of cam and centre mid. We'll move on to the cam centre mid CDMs now. But yeah, you have got a lot of high rated cards that will actually go for a little bit. So obviously you've got the likes of Benega. You can sell him at striker or even at centre mid. Gary Medel's naturally a CDM. If you can get him at centre mid, pretty decent deal there. Khedira, if you can get him at CDM as well. Then you've obviously got the likes of the box-to-box midfielders. So you got Brozovic. If you can get him at cam or CDM, you can make decent profit on him. Strootman as well, not necessarily at cam, more CDM. Jorginho from Napoli, you can get him at cam and CDM as well. Biglia from Lazio, if you can get him at centre mid, that'll be a pretty decent deal for you there. Hernandez, you can get him at cam or CDM because he's got great stats all around. And then obviously you've got the likes of Melo, who's okay to get a centre mid. Not guaranteed to sell first time round, but you can still make pretty decent profit on him. So we'll move on to the Bundesliga now, and we'll go to the Bundesliga strikers. So I'd stay away from Muller, Aubameyang and Lewandowski because they're very expensive. So the players you want to, all these strikers, you want to be looking at getting them in cam and centre mid. So you want Javier Hernandez, also Rafael from Mönchengladbach, Volland, Stindl can definitely play CDM, centre mid and cam as well. And then you've got the likes of Hahn, who's got like high work rate, so he's a pretty good one. And then you got Timo Werner, who's very, very good. Probably arguably one of the best players to do this with, just because he's got the pace and people really like pace on this game. The centre mids now. So Thiago, you want to look for him at cam and CDM. Draxler, if you can get him at striker, either his Wolfsburg or his PSG version, you can they go for a little bit different prices. Kagawa, if you can get him at striker, he's a very good deal. And then you've got the likes of Campbell, who's a centre mid, who's got pretty good box-to-box stats. If you can get him at cam, that'll be a pretty decent deal. Also, you've got a lot of the CDMs like Gustavo, Alonso. If you can get them at centre mid, that'll be a fairly decent deal. Who else have you got? Gonzalo Castro from Dortmund. If you can get him at cam or CDM, you'll make profit off him. Dahoud can play cam and CDM as well. Goretzka, he's got the 4-star skills. You can get him at cam or CDM. Kita from Leipzig, I believe that is. If you can get him at CDM, that'll be a pretty decent deal. Not too sure about cam. His inform's got the stats, but I'm not too sure on his normal card. And obviously you have Renato Sanchez, who you can get at cam, centre mid. Trade with him at cam or CDM pretty much. Right, so the last league is actually the Liga 1. So we'll go through some of these players now. So Falcao, starting off with the strikers again. So these strikers that I'm going to read out, you want to look for them at centre attacking mid and or centre mid. So you got Falcao, you've got Balotelli, you've got Plia, I believe it is, from Nice. Jeremy Menez, Braithwaite, he's got the pace. You've got Goncalo Guedes, I believe that is, from PSG, the Portuguese guy who actually got upgraded. If you can try and get him at striker, see what his price is, and also centre attacking mid and or centre mid. That's pretty much it for the strikers. We'll move on to the centre mids and stuff now. So you've got Krikowiak. If you can manage to pick him up at centre mid, because he's normally a CDM, you can make some pretty decent profit on him because he's got very good stats for a centre mid. Jean Moutinho is normally a cam. You know about Moutinho. If you can get him at CDM or centre mid, you're in the money. Fabinho from Monaco, he's normally a CDM, but you can get him at centre mid and make some very, very nice profit on him. And then you have the likes of, is it Cyprien? I believe it is, the upgraded guy from Nice. He's arguably the next Kante or whatever, the cheap Kante. If you can pick him up at CDM, very decent deal, or even Cam. You have to check his price first, make sure you're not overpaying for him. And that's pretty much it for the Liga 1, but that's going to be the end of this video. If you want to see more like this, where maybe I do a video on the method and then a video of like the best players to do that method with, you have to let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.